tell your parents, tell the neighbors, tell someone. And the someone you tell, please, everyone, pay attention. Believe the child. Don't say, oh, I don't want to hear this. Believe the child and take steps to ending whatever abuse might be happening to that child. So if a friend cries out to you for help, and you have to tell them that you cannot keep that secret. It's the same thing with suicide. If a friend tells you that he or she is hurting herself, some people cut themselves. If a friend tells you that he or she is hurting herself, or that she wants to commit suicide, you have to protect her. You have to protect that life in every way. Find a way to protect that person, that life. You cannot keep it to yourself. You have to save him or her from himself or herself. And ultimately, you might be saving a life. It's the same with abuse. You are saving a life when you report abuse. As the patron for this Child Protection Month, I implore all of you adults here present that we must do everything in our power to protect our children from all forms of abuse, all forms. Let us begin today. Let's do this today so that no one can be abused anymore, or no lives can be lost. One life lost is one too many. I want to repeat the pledge. There is a pledge for this month. It is the pledge against child abuse. The pledge goes like this: recognizing that children hold the brightest hope for our future of our nation, I pledge to discourage and report all forms of abuse and neglectful actions against them, whether those actions are mental or emotional, verbal, physical, sexual, medical, or spiritual. Let's work together to end child abuse. Everyone, we can do this. Let's do this. I thank you. Good morning, and God bless you all.
In Matthew chapter 25, Jesus tells a story of a man who owned a vast amount of real estate money, or a portfolio that he treasured highly. And he was about to embark on a long journey. And in his wisdom, he identified his servants who he would leave a measure of responsibility to as he traveled. To one servant, he gave 5 talents. To a second servant, he gave 2. And to a third, he gave 1. Today, I am not here necessarily to talk about the significance and the meaning of those talents.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, Concerns being expressed tonight about the state of homelessness on Grand Bahama. The Grand Bahama Red Cross Center returns home. And we have an update tonight on urban renewal projects in the Northern Bahamas. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening all, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to the news. Topping the news, there is growing concern about the state of homelessness on Grand Bahama. It is not a new issue, as some persons were left homeless following Hurricane Dorian, and it became more apparent following the devastating fire in the International Bazaar last year. As many of the dilapidated buildings house homeless persons, another location was recently discovered, and one resident is as adamant that it could become a safety issue. Aja Quant reports.
Homelessness, a cause for concern here on the island of Grand Bahama. A resident of the Green and Glade community, an upper middle class area where a library was once housed. Now he's speaking with our ZNS news team today, saying that this library is now the home for the homeless.
For several months now, I've been watching this area and seeing different person walking. And because living in this area, I would like to know who you all should always know who your area residents are. So I came about 2 months ago to check it out, watch it, and just watch the process grow.
The identity of the person residing in the building is unknown. Resident of the area, Clement Campbell, says he stumbled across the abandoned building a few months ago. Campbell giving our ZNS news team a tour of the building. There is a makeshift kitchen with a grill which is being utilized as a stove. A clothesline stretches across one of the rooms, serving as a closet. And then there is a bathroom, but there is no running water in the building. As you can see to the right of me, this is the bedroom of the homeless person. Now, Campbell says this is not the job of police officers, but it is the job of the powers that be.
It's not finger pointing or blaming anyone, but we have 15 to 20 police live right to my left, right? But this is not the police job. This is the citizens and the residents of Green and Glade.
Campbell says he discussed the situation with residents in the community. He also brought the matter to the attention of Member of Parliament for Marco City, Michael Pintard, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, as he was unclear who to speak to on this issue.
Before this get out of hand and too many persons start living here, I want the powers to be. I don't know if it's the port. I don't know if it's the Haywoods. I don't know what their take is on it, but I'm sure they know of this building. And something has to be done about this. Not next month. They have to get on this immediately.
He adds that the homeless situation on the island appears to be growing and says a committee or an organization should be established to look into the state of homeless on Grand Bahama and assist.
They need to form a committee or an organization who just to go around checking all these vacant places and find these persons, identify them, name, NIB number, family member traits, and go from there.
Now, the silver lining in all of this is that Campbell says this very same hall can be transformed into an official shelter. I'm Aja Quant, ZNS Network News.
Now we reach out to the Grand Bahama Development Company to find out who owns that abandoned building. President and Senior Legal Counsel Sharice Brown confirming that it is not owned by DEFCO. In a press statement, Brown notes that while their heart goes out to the family who are experiencing unfortunate circumstances, at this time they want to clarify that the building in question, while located in the Lucaya subdivision, is owned by a private lot owner. Brown adding that this matter was recently brought to their attention, and they have since contacted Assistant Superintendent of Police, Nicola Sayers, who is the director of the Community Police in Grand Bahama, to give the family assistance. The DEFCO president says they will contact the owner to ensure that the property is secured and that the area kept safe. DEFCO is also asking the public to advise them of similar known instances by calling 350-9016 so they can speak with the relevant persons to help keep the community safe and ensure that those needing assistance receive. Meantime, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says addressing the homeless situation has been one of the first initiatives for her ministry for Grand Bahama since taking office, and they are currently rebuilding a number of dilapidated homes in the back of town to be used as homeless shelters. Minister Moxie says her vision is to provide stability and rehabilitative resources to vulnerable families at the halfway house. For a period of 6 months, the shelters are being redeveloped through corporate partners. They are scheduled to be completed by the end of May and others by the end of June. In the meantime, homeless persons are asked to seek assistance at Social Services Department. Urban Renewal revolutionized launching a number of key programs geared towards assisting communities across the entire Bahamas. Here in the Northern Bahamas, officials say a number of programs are in place to ensure that residents, especially those who live what are considered urban areas, have better way of life. Jamila Mizik reports.
Urban Renewal Northern Bahamas, Senator Kirkland Russell, announcing a number of programs that Urban Renewal is focusing on in hopes of renewing urban areas. One of them, the Beautification and Street Maintenance Program.
We intend to beautify and to make especially areas outside of the city of Freeport. You know, we want those areas to be just as refined, just as beautiful, just as well kept as any area you could find throughout the Bahamas. We believe that if we do what we ought to do as far as not just cleanup, but beautifying and causing this to be a sustainable program, we believe that this will provoke and stimulate economic growth in these areas.
Senator Russell says they're also focusing on educational programs, including a GED program.
We have too high a percentage of our young men and women leaving school each year without a diploma. You know, that can't be right. As a country, we have to figure out how we're going to bring relief and how we're going to help these young people. And so, yes, we will have the regular after-school programs, computer programs and those things, but we think it is more, we think we need to go a little step further with these young people, and that step, we believe, is to introduce through Urban Renewal a GED program.
Now, Urban Renewal also recently launched a sporting program for the youth in urban areas. The deputy director says they are also looking to target members of the disabled community.
Less than 2% of that community actually works because persons does not provide the avenue, the training, and all the other things that comes with it that ordinary citizens receive. They don't receive it. This Urban Renewal team will focus on providing those type of assistance for persons living with disability. So this, I mean, the whole idea is to touch every sector of the community.
Senator Russell says that in the coming days, all Urban Renewal centers will be fully operational in Grand Bahama, and they're hoping to have those in Abaco and Bimini up and running in the shortest time possible.
The Grand Bahama Red Cross branch is making big progress with its rebuilding efforts. The Red Cross headquarters on Jobson Avenue was badly damaged following Hurricane Dorian in 2019 and was demolished to make way for the new construction of a new edifice. Tonight, officials say while they are making a smooth transition into the new facility, there is still more work left to be done. Jamila Mizik reports.
The Bahamas Red Cross Grand Bahama Center returning home to its Jobson Avenue location. Administrator Stephanie Barr says they are happy to be back on the grounds and are fully operational at their new facility.
We still have all of our programs running. We still have our daily Meals on Wheels. We have our monthly Meals on Wheels. First aid, we still have that going. So we have all of our programs running so far. So, you know, we've made that move and, you know, we've made the adjustment to the new building.
Chairman of the Grand Bahama Center, Rinaldi Forbes, says the next step for the construction process is a multi-purpose center, which will also be used as a hurricane shelter.
One that withstand most hurricanes. I like to be totally optimistic in terms of what the possibilities are, because anything can take place. But the all-purpose center also too is actually going to be the point where if we want to do rental or other revenue-generated items or programs, it's going to be a part of that. Training program is something that is generated, revenue generated, but we plan to have Red Cross being a charitable organization still requires donation, and we want to be able to try and sustain ourselves somewhat in terms of generating revenue. So Dorian has taught us much in terms of what we expect or what we were doing. So we want to take that even the next step further in case if there's another Dorian or any disaster that comes forward, then we want to be prepared, and hopefully the all-purpose center will help us in that direction.
The Red Cross officials admit that there has been a greater demand for assistance from the public since the negative impact of both Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic, which is why they're appealing for financial support.
Because we're a nonprofit organization, we can only go so far, and so we're also appealing to the public, because of the programs, to please, support us on any donations we have, because we still have a lot of persons who are not working and cannot support their families at this time.
So whatever you can contribute towards making anything towards Red Cross, or better still, any NGO there in terms of you can give assistance to, then we do that, because you have neighbors there who may need assistance, and we don't know, Red Cross don't know, churches don't know all of these things, but Grand Bahama Public, you know who your neighbors are, you know who your families are, and if you could do anything to try and go towards assisting these persons, then do that. It'll make what we're trying to do a lot easier, and it'll take the burden off, because again, by feeding your neighbor, your family, and so forth, then that's one less person then that any church, any social service, Red Cross, will have to give assistance to.
They're thanking the Grand Bahama community for their continued support.
Now, as the hurricane season approaches, disaster manager at the Red Cross Grand Bahama Center, Hilton Kia, says they will be ready and prepared to render support where necessary. However, he says they are always in need of volunteers.
We're appealing to the public to volunteer your time, come at the center or give us a call, and you can volunteer. We would offer you the necessary training in different areas that we would need you. So those of you who have special expertise and also experience in dealing with disasters, we're open for you.
A major bushfire causing a bit of challenge in the area of a local high school today. While this is the bushfire season, firefighters say there is additional concern. Aja Kwan reports.
The Grand Bahama Fire Department tackling yet another bushfire here next to the Sir Jack Hayward Senior High School. Now the fireman says that it is a cause for concern because they do believe that persons are setting these bushes on fire, in addition to it being bushfire season.
This bushfire started, we believe, as a result of either someone intentionally lighting some rubbish or trash in the area. This is the bushfire season where things is really dry, and with these high winds right now, these fires getting out of control really quickly, but we're doing our best to deal with them as quickly as possible.
Sergeant Norn Roll is encouraging persons to contact the fire department even if they see a small bushfire, as fire spreads rather quickly and will be easier to tackle in its premature stage. He also gives helpful tips to assist in preventing bushfires.
We would advise persons to only light fires inside of their kitchen. When you think that you have a handle on it, persons doing backyard farming, other persons, we believe, lighting copper in the brushes. These fires escape from you, especially with the winds. And then you don't have sufficient water on hand or the right equipment to attack it quickly. So persons should not be lighting fires outside of their kitchen, and neighbors or anyone who see these individuals should contact us so we can deal with them through the proper channels.
As this is against the law, Sergeant Roll notes that the department can put those starting the fires before the court, adding that most times it is adults who are simply responsible.
If we look at it where you might start an innocent brush fire, which we say lighting fire outside of the kitchen or causing damage by fire, And what happens if we catch someone home? So that's when that damage now escalates, where now you can have a person, due to the severity of the damage in the home, you will then have to be charged according to that damage. That's a $100,000 home. You will have to account for those damages. When it comes to the children, we really educate our children. We go to these schools, we do lectures on prevention, and the children are well informed on what to do. They are well informed, so it isn't the children. It's more of the adults that think that they can take matters into their own hands, and then things get out of their control.
Persons are encouraged to be very cautious during this time, as the fire department says they are very limited in resources. I'm Azure Quant, ZNS Network News.
2 men shot at a business establishment on East Sunrise Highway over the weekend. Initial reports revealed that a group of males were standing on the outside of a business late Friday night when they were approached by a man brandishing a firearm who discharged a weapon in the direction of the group. One man in the group sustained injuries to the left hip and leg, and the second man received gunshot injuries to his left knee. They were both transported to hospital via private vehicle. Medical officials have described their injuries as non-life-threatening. Investigations are continuing. And a man is in police custody over in Abaco assisting with investigations into an armed robbery on that island. Police say the incident occurred around 10 p.m. Saturday night at a business establishment in Marsh Harbor. Reports reveal that residents of Cooperstown was at the establishment and was approached by a gunman who pointed a firearm in his direction and demanded cash. The victim handed over an undetermined amount of cash to the gunman, who then fled on foot. Police say an adult male was arrested a short time later and is being questioned in connection with that incident. Don't go away. We'll be back after this break.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
Alive brings to you the iPhone 12 64 gigs for $249 when you switch to Alive postpaid. Alive, believe in best. This Mother's Day, shop Pandora. With the purchase of $150 or more, receive a free bracelet. Offer valid April 21st through April 28th. Happy Mother's Day from Pandora, Port Lacaya.
KMW battery sales, ATV battery, car batteries, marine battery, truck batteries, heavy duty batteries, battery backup, and more. Open Mondays to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in today.
We have safely protected your lives, assets, and aspirations for over 100 years. That's a lot of protection. At BAF, we know that our commitment to you goes beyond a policy or an investment. It's a commitment. Find out how to grow with us. And if you are already with us, find out how we can help you grow even more. Because when you choose BAF, we are with you for life.
See this in 3D. Look at life in 3D.
Said I need it right now. You cut all of the lights out. You can see me like Diddy.
So be alarmed. What you about to see is the bomb, like 3D and all.
It's 3D. Mr. GB on Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, bringing his book tour to Grand Bahama later this week. The former 3-time Prime Minister is expected on Grand Bahama this Thursday and Friday for the launch of his new book, I Say What I Mean, and I Mean What I Say. Hubert A. Ingram, in his own words. The book is the first of 3-volume collection of significant speeches and statements made by the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram during his time in frontline politics and as the nation's leader. Now, the book is already on sale in Grand Bahama at Bethel's bookstore, allowing residents to make purchases ahead of the launch, and there will be an opportunity to secure Ingram's personal signature on books while at the new Sawyer's Fresh Market location on Midshipman Road between 12 noon and 1:30 p.m. this coming Thursday. The former Prime Prime Minister is expected to pay a courtesy call on the Minister of Grand Bahama and will also make a presentation of books to local school principals at the Sir Charles Hayward Library, a gift of Sawyer's Fresh Market. Ingram will also present a number of books to the University of the Bahamas Northern Campus, gifted by Kalina Insurance. The former Prime Minister is also slated to visit a local high school to meet with a delegation of students from schools from across the island. The Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology hosting Wellness Day at the Rand Memorial Hospital for healthcare professionals within the department. A number of activities geared around healing were planned, and officials say they hope to make it an annual event, as healthcare workers are human beings who sometimes are in need of healing themselves. Romiko Knowles reports.
It is Health and Wellness Day at the Rand Memorial Hospital. It is a day that officials have selected to focus on themselves. It is no secret that the past few years have been quite challenging for those in the healthcare profession, many of whom have gone beyond the call of duty, risking their lives to save others. I'm sitting right now in the Healing Garden, which is a part of this year's theme, Physician, Heal Thyself. Spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, and other forms of healing were the focus of Wellness Day for healthcare professionals at the Rand Memorial Hospital. A song for healing sung by Leopold Wright set the tone for those in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Consultant Dr. Sharmanique Bodie-Williams says it is the first time they have hosted Wellness Day and explains why it is important.
Healthcare providers, they have a tough job, particularly physicians and nurses as well, and we are also subject to chronic conditions. Studies have shown that we have a higher risk of things such as hypertension, and we have a higher risk of things like diabetes, the very thing that we're trying to treat our patients for. In addition to that, we also have an increased risk of burnout. And when we burn out from our profession, then we're no good not only to our patients, but we're no good to ourselves and our relatives.
Rendering better care for patients is of the utmost importance. But to do that, health officials must first take care of themselves.
So the idea is that if we start here, we start with the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at the RAND. We start today, that we can send out a clarion call and get other departments involved and potentially get the whole institution and other medical institutions involved as well.
In recognition of Wellness Day, team members were fasting, and they also got lab work done on themselves.
Lab cooperated with us to be able to, for them to get their annual blood work, because very often we're not seeing the doctor, even though we're doctors, and that blood work they'll be able to take to a healthcare provider of their choice. Then we got basic metrics such as weight, height, body fat, and then we're going to culminate with a program that will hopefully inspire us, and then lunch at the beach.
Consultant Dr. Karen Aubrey says days like Wellness Day are needed at the Rand Memorial Hospital, especially since they have lost colleagues in the profession due to COVID-19.
It allows for that fellowship, and I think one of the things that COVID took away from us is having that ability to be together and to comfort each other and to commune with each other. So by being able to do this in person, I think that is further support of this enterprise. So it allows us to support each other, to open up to each other, and to say, okay, well, maybe we need to reevaluate our health goals.
Now officials are hoping that other health organizations would also have a Wellness Day, as it is important for those in the healthcare profession. Romiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. It was a busy weekend for athletes from the North, but let's begin with a softball return to Grand Bahama. Opening day of the Softball League with Pat's uniform Reds going up against Immigration Enforcers. Team Immigration at the bat with a shot to Desmond Russell, who makes the play to retire the batter. Up next, Immigration still at the plate, this time with a pop-up to left field to end the inning. Pat's Red now at the plate with a deep shot out to left field, but that didn't have enough gas to make it out the park. Later on in the game, Desmond at the plate now with a shot to right field and rounds himself to third base for the triple. Next batter up, Pat's Reds with a hit to outfield, bringing in a run for the offense, and that's how the ball game went as Pats continue to pour in the offense as they pull away to win the season opener 7-3 in co-ed play.
We haven't been out there for a while. We had the COVID pandemic. We also had the hurricane that stopped us for a minute. So it was one season that we didn't have a season at all, and then last season we got cut short. So it's good to be back on the field. I mean, everybody looks excited. Everybody is hyped up to play. So it looks good so far.
It's great. I've been waiting forever. Me and the team, everybody been waiting forever. We happy to play. We've been practicing Tuesdays, Thursdays. You know, we just ready to play, ready to beat everybody out there.
Immigration didn't have enough, however, they are optimistic about the season.
We were very close to last season. They had to cut the season short because of the COVID, but basically we're ready. We're going to take it.
It feels good to finally get back out on the field after, long couple months, but just shake some of the rust off. As soon as immigration shake the rust off, we could be a problem for plenty of people. We got a lot of young players, a lot of athletes, so we should be good.
Also on Saturday, GB Power handled business against Alive in corporate play, winning this one 11-1. Brian Cooper was the winning pitcher. The loss went to Leonardo Stewart. Now in the All-Men's Division, Express Food Mart defeated CLA hitters 10-9 in a close one behind a walk-off home run by Lance Edwards in the bottom of the 5th inning. Keel Pinder got the win for Express, while Stefano Bevins registered the loss for the hitters. Switching gears now in track, the golden boy out of Moores Island, Abaco, Stephen Gardner, had yet another impressive showing on the track this weekend. Olympic champion Gardner clocked a world lead in 44.22 seconds to win the men's 400 meters with its fastest one-lap season opener at the 2022 LSU Alumni Gold meet on Saturday. After a couple of quality performances in the 200 to open his outdoor campaign, Gardner finally made his first appearance in the 400 meters this season, and the Tokyo Game champion from last summer once again showed his quality. And finally in sports, Tenarius Thomas, playing this year for the Altona Curve AA affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates, is 1-0 so far on the year. The 6'4" right-handed pitcher appeared in 5 games so far with 5 strikeouts, pitching a total of 6 innings. Thomas is expected to see action this week against the Akron Rubber Ducks over in Ohio. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Star General's final expense plan provides cash. Payout can be used for medical bills, funeral expenses, other expenses, and survivors. Phone them at 688-7827.
At Pizza Hut, we believe in pizza and good deals. Enjoy 2 large one-topping pizzas for only $24.65, VAT inclusive. Call us downtown at 352-9191 or East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500 to order your 2 delicious Pizza Hut pizzas with your favorite toppings. Available for dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. Order 2 large one-topping pizzas at Pizza Hut Freeport today.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married?
Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
One station giving you 3 different shows. It's Power 104's new weekday lineup. Join me for late mornings with 6 from 9 to 11. Plus, we have something new for you.
It's your boy 3D, Mr. GB on Power 104.5 FM. Join me on the drive time from 4 to 6, giving you all the latest hits from the past to the
Future. You know what it is. It's that DJ that plays the music that you love, DJ Future, letting you know to join me on 104.5 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday, all right? But it's not just all about me. I got my colleagues along with me right here at 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friend today is Kevin Monroe. Kevin, we thank you for your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jay Philippe. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the Prime Minister and a heavy hitter in U.S. politics meet. Family ties in a drug arraignment, beating, child abuse, and another loss leads to Aiden and Sons facing the best of 3. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for joining us. Health officials on guard, actively monitoring the rise and fall of COVID-19 cases nationally. This comes even as health officials accelerate efforts to return the country to a greater sense of normalcy, with every intention of lifting the mask mandate by summer, according to the Prime Minister. Desmond Saunders leads us off tonight.
The slight uptick in COVID-19 cases in the country, a grave concern for health officials. The last several weeks saw positive cases trending downward, but on April 23rd, the Ministry of Health COVID-19 dashboard reported 20 positive COVID-19 cases on record.
This is very fluid. What we see today may be a bit different than what we see on Wednesday when the EOC meeting comes into play. And so I am guarded as it relates to any statement about whether or not we're going to restrict or open up until we get those reports coming in.
As the nation's economy rebounds from the staggering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Health Ministry is also monitoring increases in COVID-19 cases in several territories in the United States, the United Kingdom, and China. The Health and Wellness Minister describes this matter as concerning, even as some countries begin to loosen restrictions and consider lifting COVID mask mandates.
We are concerned about several developments that are taking place, particularly in the United States, where we're seeing spike in cases. And a lot of those individuals coming to our country. And so that is something that the EOC is concerned about. In addition, 1 week ago, a judge in Florida struck down the CDC ruling for mask mandates on aircrafts. That is a concern for us as well. What does that mean? Would we see an increased incidence of travel into the area? So we're watching all of these factors, and the Bahamas must make the decision that is in the best interest of our country, our tourism sector, and the way forward as it relates to how we deal with cases at the tertiary level.
As it relates to lifting mask mandates in the country,
we're watching very closely and do not want to jump too fast, but at the same time take into consideration that we have an economy to run.
Now, the Minister of Health and Wellness says he's not quick to loosen any more COVID-19 restrictions just yet. He adds that his ministry will continue to take a cautionary and measured approach in protecting the lives of citizens. Here at the Ministry of Health headquarters, Meeting Street, Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network News.
Well, thanks, Desmond. As noted, after several days of double-digit cases, local COVID infections are back down to 5. 4 of them on New Providence, the other on Grand Bahama. 3 females and 2 males make up the count. As for hospitalization, 6 people are being treated for the illness. At last report, all of the sick were moderately ill. As of April 24th, There were 164 active cases and 5 recoveries. Meantime, deaths remain steady at 789. Well, wearing masks should be a choice. That's how Bahama President Graham Davis feels about it. He shared as much while lauding the government's recent decision to remove mask wearing at hotels as part of updated COVID-19 protocols. The massive Cable Beach resort is seen as one of the safest COVID-19 environments in country, considering it offers guests COVID testing upon departure and has aggressive cleaning and sanitization exercises. All things considered, Davis is confident more Americans, Bahama's premier market, will consider visiting the property, especially now that the Centers for Disease Control's Level 1 COVID-19 travel rating.
The next evolution for us would be really to, eliminate the testing requirement to come into the country. We're seeing Jamaica and Aruba already removing that mandate of testing into the country, and also to see the United States remove the testing requirement to go back to the United States. That would be, for us, the ideal evolution of what's next for this pandemic.
Well, the hotel executive admitted to a drop-off in bookings when the Omicron variant surged here in the Bahamas and the U.S., but now the pent-up demand for conference and group meetings has spiked. In fact, Bahama is completely sold out this week at 99.5% occupancy, thanks to FTX and SALT's Crypto Bahamas conference that starts tomorrow.
I think that's really speaks volumes as far as the demand and the return of group business, and we're seeing that into the future, into quarter 2, later on into Q3 and the rest of the year, and most importantly into next year, into 2023 and 2024. We're seeing our pace outperforming what we've seen in the past years for those future years as well.
Well, still on health news, immunization records can now be accessed electronically thanks to the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization. The electronic immunization register launched today at the ministry's Meeting Street headquarters. National Immunization Coordinator Ruth Bastian and PAHO Representative Carleen McKenzie says it's a project that started several years ago.
2019, we have been entering data into an electronic platform that Pan American Health Organization has been collaborating with the Ministry of Health and the government to ensure that we have better access to immunization information of our population. And for this, we want to say thank you.
In this COVID-19 era, we saw firsthand the decline in routine immunization coverage across the region due to in-country restrictions and limited or no access to clinics and other healthcare facilities for persons to receive vaccinations. Also, in this COVID-19 era, we saw great effort being made to educate our healthcare staff as well as the general public on the importance of vaccinations, and also to encourage persons to receive the COVID-19 vaccine to protect themselves and others.
Well, Health Minister, the Honourable Dr. Michael Darville, says the initiative is in keeping with the overall objective to make healthcare services technologically efficient.
I'm also pleased that we are moving from analog, writing everything, and we are going on a digital platform where every clinic in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and other institutions can have access to individuals' current immunization record and to follow through. This is very important for us because it's going to move us into the digital world, and for us not to be following handwritten records that can actually be destroyed as a result of hurricane.
A tour de force in American politics, paying a courtesy call on Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, at his Cable Beach office this morning. Stopping by U.S. Congresswoman Maxine Waters. The two exchanged gifts and discussed matters of mutual importance, including the financial sector and crypto space, tourism, climate change, and carbon markets, as well as gun reforms that can reduce gun violence in both countries. Among those joining the Prime Minister Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs and Public Service, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, the Bahamas Ambassador to the United States, Colombia, and Malaysia, and His Excellency Wendell Jones. Congresswoman Borders was joined by several of her colleagues as the U.S. Chargé d'Affaires to the Bahamas, Yusha Pitts. Waters is no stranger to the Bahamas. Her husband, Sidney Williams, served as the U.S. ambassador here from 1994 to 1998. Well, a power-packed day for the Prime Minister, who was also on hand for FTX digital markets, reaching a pivotal point in establishing a presence here in the Bahamas. The cryptocurrency exchange giant today held a groundbreaking for its new home. The whole process, the end result of a pretty exhaustive search that saw the company's bigwigs go through country by country, all 200 of them, before settling on the Bahamas to plant its roots. But company CEO Samuel Bankman-Fried acknowledges his company posed a rather difficult problem for many jurisdictions.
As a high-profile growing company in a space that was both important from a financial perspective, touched a lot of important parts of the financial industry, and did a lot of things that generally require licensure, but with an asset class that basically no governments had drafted regulation for yet, and we fell in a pretty tough tough valley of needs license, but there does not exist a license for us to get.
Add to that the other criteria. Still, FTX went on the really good experiences a few of its emissaries returned on the Bahamas.
It was not where we originally thought we were going to end up, but because of the work of everyone here and an enormous number of colleagues who are not here today, in the Bahamas, it became that place. So huge thank you to everyone for making this a place that we could call home. And it is unambiguously the case that prior to this, we did not have a home as a company. We did not have a place that we felt comfortable and excited about, that we felt like could be a long-term place for our headquarters from.
Still to come, 3 men charged in the $1 million Abaco drug bust and a warning against child abuse. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
They say that when it hits you. A feeling so strong that it's impossible not to give into. A juicy piece of KFC to feel elevated by the aroma and to free fall into its exciting flavor. Some call it love, attraction, desire. We call it KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
We get it. Life happens. And when it does, Easy Payday is here for you. Whether it's cash for school fees, a vacation, or even a loan consolidation, no matter what your needs are, we are here for you when you need us most. Eligible applicants can borrow up to $15,000. Visit us at our new location on University Drive. Give us a call at 603-0200 or apply online at easypayday.loans. Easy Payday loans are simple, fast, and easy.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
At Bank of the Bahamas, we give you lots of reasons to love your life. We offer the lowest rates in the country on debt consolidation and consumer loans. And we help you save with our low-rate switch mortgages. Need a new car? Simply apply for a BOB auto loan and hit the road.
And saving is so easy with higher interest and no monthly maintenance fees.
It's time to live and laugh again. Love the life you live with BOB, your bank of solutions.
News is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
The corrections officer locked up last week for drug possession faced a magistrate this morning. Herman Majors accused of having 5 3/4 pounds of suspected marijuana while at work. Today, he was formally charged with possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply and taking prohibited articles into the correctional facility. Major pleaded not guilty to the crime. He's been released on $15,000 bail. Wednesday, June 8th, we'll see him back in court. A father and son, 2 of 3, appearing before Magistrate Samuel McKinney today on drug charges. Chanino Cornish Sr. and Jr. and Raphael Murray arraigned on possession of dangerous drugs and possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. Police allege the trio was found with 1,254 pounds of suspected marijuana Indian hemp. The drugs have an estimated street value of $1.2 million. The men, all Abaco residents, pleaded not guilty. Bail was set at $60,000 each with 1 or 2 sureties. Further, each of the accused will wear an ankle monitoring bracelet and must report to the Cooperstown Police Station once a week before Saturday. The case picks up on Tuesday, July 26. Also making national news tonight, long after the scars of abuse fade, children are left to deal with its effects. A pediatric nurse is, however, hoping to make more awareness of the plight of these young victims, many of whom she encounters while on her job. She told our Cleopatra Murphy that her colleagues are determined to prove that despite her circumstance, there are still a lot of good people in the world.
In late 2021, 4-year-old Deonia Bella Walker unwillingly became the face of child abuse in the Bahamas. Her life cut tragically short, allegedly at the hands of her mother's boyfriend on November 5th, after sustaining blunt force trauma, leaving her with broken ribs and punctured internal organs. Like Bella, countless other faceless child victims suffer in silence, and it's something Senior Nursing Officer Rebecca Johnson hopes to bring attention to this National Child Protection Month. She offers this crucial advice to parents.
Make sure that who's supervising your child is someone who is decent, someone who's going to also love and support your child the way you would. You need to make sure that the person who is caring for your child will look after your child and protect them. And sometimes that includes knowing the environment that you're leaving your child in, because the individual who you leave to protect your child might be a good person, a loving person, a decent person, but who else is coming to that home? Maybe friends, relatives, who would seek to harm your child.
Up to the end of November 2021, the country recorded 62 cases of physical abuse, 115 cases of neglect, 17 cases of verbal and emotional abuse, incest, and abandonment, while 78 cases of sexual abuse were reported. Johnson, also a member of the Suspected Child Abuse and Prevention Association, says teaching children about inappropriate touching is important.
You should lead example by not touching your child inappropriately, so they know the difference between what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. You should not kiss your child or touch your child in a manner that's sexual, because if someone on the outside does it, wouldn't know the difference. Sorry. So it's very important. Educate. Teach your child the difference between good touch and bad touch.
She says abuse in all its forms has lasting effects that can carry into adulthood.
Some symptoms, not really symptoms really. Children who have been abused, some of the problems that they experience in addition to the dysfunctional families and then the hurt and the shame that goes straight for the rest of their life. You find children that don't do well in school, so you have academic failure. You find children may be more prone to run away from home. You find some children may even be considered suicide. So there are some really serious consequences of child abuse.
Her advice to parents and guardians: if a child feels uncomfortable being around someone, pay attention. Also, keep an open line of communication so if they ever become a victim of abuse, they will tell you. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, celebrating and promoting acceptance for those diagnosed with learning challenges, the goal of Autism Awareness Month, but understanding what autism is comes first. Here's Crystal Darling.
And they think that if they've got autism, they can't learn. And that is completely not the case.
Autism is often broadly defined, leading to many misconceptions. Blairwood Academy Director Kim Kuskalis explains.
Autism is a big umbrella, and it starts on one end of the spectrum, very, very mild. Sometimes children are called Asperger's syndrome, to severe. So you've got more mild, moderate, and severe. And I think today in society, you hear the word autism and everybody automatically thinks, oh, that child has severe autism. And that's not necessarily the case. There's a lot more kids these days that are diagnosed with more mild autism that have some of the traits of it, but aren't as severe, and that can function in a classroom.
Kuskala says there's the added myth that children with various forms of autism look or behave a certain way and are not academically inclined.
Usually a child with dyslexia has average to high average IQ. A child with Asperger's syndrome, which is on the milder end of the spectrum of autism, usually have very high IQs. Bill Gates, Richard Branson has dyslexia and ADHD. We've got, there's so many people in this world, and the misconception is that if you have autism or if you have dyslexia or if you have a learning challenge, you're dumb, and you're not. Kids have so much potential.
Here's what the Blairwood director suggests we can all do to better understand and peacefully coexist with those diagnosed with autism.
We have to teach our kids to be tolerant, that if a child is a little bit socially inept, that you need to maybe go and help them out. Try to bring them along and try to get them to come join you. Because not all these kids, especially kids with mild autism, do not know how to socialize. And then what happens is then they get bullied. Parents need to be very open and honest with their children that may not have any disability or learning challenge. They need to start talking to their kids and make this generation understand, the school-age generation understand for what's going to be coming up as they get older.
Kuskala says raising awareness about autism is not just for this month, but years to come. Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Wouldn't it be satisfying to own your own piece of paradise? The most important investment you can make in your life is real estate, and Fidelity has the solution for you. You could become the owner of a home or a lot on any of our beautiful islands. Come and talk to a loan officer and inquire about how you can fund your goals with a loan today. Because we know it means a lot to own a lot. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit any of our branches. Or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport. Fidelity, we're good for you.
At the Department of Housing, we're working diligently to expand the path to home ownership.
At our newest housing community, the Pinecrest Subdivision, the Department of Housing is partnering with reputable construction firms to build quality, affordable homes for Bahamian families. The homes are being built to the highest standards, which exceeds the minimum requirements set by the Bahamian Building Code. The features, including architectural shingles, elevated foundations, and hurricane impact windows, have been specifically selected to produce stronger, more resilient structures. The houses are being built from concrete blocks reinforced with poured concrete, steel columns, and beams inside the blocks. This system is approved for use in the Bahamas and has been in use for decades. The construction is being supervised by a team of construction professionals, including 2 licensed structural engineers, as well as the Ministry of Works and the Ministry of Housing. This robust supervision regime is intended to ensure that the homes meet and exceed all regulations.
The Department of Housing, making access to quality, affordable housing easier for Bahamians.
Bahamar Resort celebrated its 5th year anniversary in grand style at its private Nexus Club. President Graham Davis expressed what this major milestone meant for the resort.
It's fulfilling a promise that we made when we first came here in 2016 for an opening in 2017. And that was to open the project and have an incredible employment opportunity for over 5,000 associates that we've been able to allow them to grow and reach their full potential. The opportunities that we have created across the country and certainly here in the community, being a good corporate citizen, I think that's very fulfilling for us and certainly rewarding that we've been able to do that. Of course, creating a successful experience that's world-class, exceptional in every way, spectacular, with our 3 world-class brands of Grand Hyatt, SLS, and Rosewood, and to be able to create these experiences that we had, continue investment into the project with our Baja Bay Water Park, our luxury water park that opened up in July of 2021, the additional restaurants that we've been able to open, the additional experiences, Mini Blue, across the entire enterprise, Cinco, our new Asian Latino kosher restaurant, first kosher restaurant in the Caribbean. These type of experiences that we've been able to create are certainly very fulfilling for us.
Acting Director General Latia Duncombe commended the resort for this major accomplishment.
Congratulations to Bahamar. We're celebrating 5 amazing, wonderful years. Thank you for being here in the Bahamas. Thank you for making the visitor experience next to none. The diversity of products with the brands that we have here, oh my gosh, I'm looking for many, many, many more years to come. Congratulations.
To read more about Bahamar's 5th year anniversary celebrations, visit bahamar.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Join up
insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian. We got our time again. It's time again.
Hey, Regattas, homecomings and festivals are all back. The Family Island Suite, eh?
Want to get your message out to the widest possible audience in the Bahamas? Now it's time to get your ads on the big station, the People Station, ZNS.
Let the people know where to stay, where to eat and drink, what to drive, what to do, where to have a good time, where to get what you need, and a whole lot more. What are you waiting on?
The ZNS sales team will be in Kid Island, April 27th to May 1st. So book your ads today. They call them now at 376-0276 for a sweet Family Island deal.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Anything you need, we got you covered. Say the word and we'll come through. So if you need coverage for life, choose BAF, they'll get it right. Just go out and do it. It's your life, so just live it. So anything you want, you can get it. It's time to get it right. So we rollin' with BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we going with BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we choosing BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we rollin' with BAF for life. BAF for life. If you want coverage for life, choose BAF, they'll get it right. Yes, that's the best choice. BAF, that's BAF for life.
Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
This segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Start or switch your mortgage with RBC by your side. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/mortgages today.
Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust, Eric Carey, is set to vacate that post come December 31st. Carey has held down the position for the past 15 years, having overseen the organization's growth to an environmental powerhouse of thousands of dedicated members, staff, park wardens, and others. Carey says his time with the BNT has been the highest privilege of his life. The Ministry of Works and Utilities advising motorists to drive with caution in the Village Road area as contractors are working to repair a broken water main. A statement from the ministry acknowledges a social media video where an individual is expressing concern over what he termed a large sinkhole that at least one vehicle has fallen into, a clear threat to other motorists. The ministry says the leak, discovered Sunday night, has led to water settling in the road. An opportunity to sample locally made items is available this weekend. The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and several food and beverage stakeholders, will host the first ever Taste and Tell event on Saturday. Attendees will have the opportunity to tickle their taste buds with a spread of locally made jams, seasonings, and food products made by over 30 food processors from throughout the country. Here's BAIC Chairman Leroy Major.
Food processors will be coming from the islands of Bimini. They'll be coming from the island of Exuma, Eleuthera, and also Long Island. And these particular islands, let's talk about Bimini. We have a lot of processors there in Bimini that makes jams and seasonings. Also in Exuma, they have some great barbecue sauces there, and also some jams. Eleuthera is specialized in cassava flour.
BAIC officials also plan to emphasize the importance of buying locally made items.
If we buy our stuff, number one, we know what's in it. Number two, we know who made it. Number three, we know where it came from. And so we will encourage our processors. As a matter of fact, we will encourage distributors that even though our items or our products may be a little costly, it is beneficial, it is homemade, and it is safe. And so we will do our best from BAIC standpoint to ensure that many of the products that our processors make hit the stores.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Started with today's lesson. Bobby, can you tell me the national bird of the Bahamas?
Miss J, we can't hear Bobby because he's fooling around with the other guys.
All right now, y'all settle down. That's okay, Bobby. I'll have a talk with your mom. It's time to transform the way you learn.
Transform the way you learn and improve your in-home Wi-Fi coverage with Eero.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Happy anniversary, My Gateway. Did you know that you can request and pay for over 35 government services on mygateway.gov.bs? Sign up today and access government services online with efficiency and simplicity. It's a celebration of a year of collective success on our digital transformation journey. My Gateway, making government work for you.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses, including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road, and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
It's Philly cheesesteak time at Burger King Nassau. This classic sandwich isn't just a Philly cheesesteak, it's a Burger King Philly cheesesteak. Enjoy your sandwich with flame grilled beef, plant-based, or try the crispy chicken version with all the Philly fixins, including lots of melted cheese, caramelized onions, bell peppers, and mushrooms on a sesame seed hoagie bun. Visit any of Burger King Nassau's 7 locations and enjoy your Philly cheesesteak as a combo or as part of the King's Feast at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married?
Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them.
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Western Air introduces new jet flight services between Nassau and Fort Lauderdale. You heard right. Western Air is now flying between Nassau and Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Whether you're flying for business, shopping, or taking the family on a quick getaway, Western Air is at your service. Less flight time, more you time. You bring your family, you bring your crew, and we'll bring ours. Western Air, we'll take you there. Now jetting to Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fort Lauderdale.
Well, this just in, our Desmond Saunders is standing live on the scene of a shooting on West Street. Desmond, what can you tell us?
Well, a pretty active scene, as you can tell. Makusla, good evening to you, and good evening, Bahamas. I'm reporting here from West Street. As I said, it's a pretty active scene. A number of persons have gathered at this area. Details are sketchy, but what we can tell you is there have been a shooting, or there is a shooting. Police investigating a shooting incident involving two males. Both males have been transported to hospital. This is a developing story. We have a number of officers out here on West Street investigating this matter. The shooting, as you can tell, you see a number of persons lined up on the streets. We have two ambulances here. We've got officers from the fire department involved in this whole episode here this evening. But details are sketchy. As we can tell you, a shooting involving two males on West Street. Details are sketchy. We're going to continue to develop this story and continue to speak to some of the police officers who will be able to give us some information. I'm going to reach out to Audley Peters, who is a press liaison officer, and he will provide us with further details. Coming to you from West Street, Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network News.
The National Family Island Regatta now one for the history books after 4 days of racing on the high seas, and this despite what Mother Nature offered up at times. Our LaDon Davis was there for all the highlights.
After several days of boating action on Elizabeth Harbor, the winners of the C&E class of the National Family Island Regatta were announced. Here's Commodore Danny Strawn with the results.
And the winner of the Gardner General Cup, Patent Pride, stayed by Stephen Knowles.
Like, I was so happy, I didn't know what to do with myself. I overjoyed. I just built a boat in 2019. It's my first time sailing in Georgetown Harbor. And my first race, we won first. We got the first gun. And we won overall.
The winner of the Ministry of Tourism Cup goes to Captain Craig, Josh Green from South Andrews.
I got to thank God for the experience. Thank God for the strength to be able to participate in this E-Class regatta. And it's not the first time that I've really won races down here, but to be the champion, I felt very proud.
Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, told a large crowd at the regatta site that his team put their money where their mouth is to ensure a smooth sailing event.
In my opinion, this spectacular sport has to continue to be the shining crown of sports in our country. We must preserve this sport for many generations to come. Bahamian sailing sloops display the best craftsmanship and world marks the manner of our bearing. Victorians from around the world marvel as tenacious Bahamian men and women glide along our stunning waters, sometimes facing fierce adversity to sell.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis and Area Member of Parliament, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, were thrilled with the support displayed by locals and visitors.
Indeed, I'm happy to be here tonight and to welcome all of you to be able to celebrate in the kickoff of Normalcy for the Bahamas once again. And we started in Regatta, and look where they started, in Exeter. These events are important for our country, it's important for our island, it's important for the economy of Exeter. I was happy when I drove in today and I see all the children playing and running free on Regatta Park. And this is a true inspiration and a true show of what regattas and homecoming is all about.
While the night culminated with a star-studded all-Bahamian concert, Regatta officials say their next focus is on the Long Island Regatta set for June. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Right now, outside of our studios, we are under near clear skies with a temperature of 77 degrees, relative humidity at 69%, easterly winds at 14 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,019.4 millibars, that's 30.10 inches. And the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll, Key, and Marsh, Abaco, the Berry Islands at 78. Islestown, Bimini, 79 degrees, 76 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 78, and then we'll pick up a string of 77, starting with Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space on Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rim Key, and Georgetown, Exuma reporting 79s, 80 degrees in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matthew Town, Unigo, 81 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwestern Islands tonight through Tuesday, you can anticipate easterly winds at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights holding at 3 to 6 feet, meaning we will keep those caution flags in place through Tuesday. Low tide will take place at 10:58 tonight with another low tide at 11:37 tomorrow morning. For the central and southeastern islands through Tuesday, easterly winds at 15 to 20 knots, those wave choppy at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. Caution flags remain in place. But as we take you into the middle of the week on Wednesday, we will see a significant reduction in those winds in the northwestern islands. They will fall off light and variable with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. High tide 6:05 in the morning on Wednesday with the low tide at 12:25 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas on Wednesday, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And for the southeast Bahamas, easterly at 15 to 20, wave heights 4 to 6 feet. So we will only maintain caution flags for the southeast Bahamas on Wednesday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Listen, you know, hear that? Spikeboard, coming from the island, with the warrior start, in the air, the Taiwan, from the home, what in them, come on, well I came down like in bow, 9 months in my mama's.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
When you testify in court, you're expected to tell the truth. Same goes for your insurance application form. You have to answer every question truthfully and provide all the information requested, or you could be found guilty of misrepresentation. That means your insurance company could deny your policy or refuse to pay your claim. Your insurance company relies on the information you provide to determine whether to issue you a policy. Leaving out just one piece of information could lead to misrepresentation. So read your application form carefully. If you're unsure about anything, ask your insurance agent or broker before completing and signing your insurance application form. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
Hungry and looking for something so satisfying? Something to truly tantalize your taste buds? Then make it Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. Also serving up a variety of delicious wings, freshly cooked to order under 10 minutes. With 2 locations to serve you. Mall at Marathon, open from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. And the East-West Highway, next to Solomon's, from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. That's Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. 393-3100.
To be the best, world-class athletes depend on a live to stay connected. We are committed to promoting Bahamian excellence locally and on an international stage. With hundreds of thousands of people depending on us, we must be a strong, fast, and flexible network. With speeds as fast as Joanna and plans as flexible as Donald, there's a plan suitable for everyone starting as low as $1 a day. With our Freedom Plan, choose the way you want to be connected with a 1-day or 7-day Freedom Plan. With our 30-day Liberty Plan, choose the right bundle of talk, text, and data. And for postpaid, we've got Liberty bundles loaded with talk, text, data, and even roaming included. Alive's hard-working network was built for hard-working people. No matter your goal, we have a plan that you can depend on. We are Alive.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Cause if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The C&E National Championships held in Georgetown at Zuma from April 21st to 23rd was a resounding success, so says Prime Minister Philip Davis, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, who is also the Member of Parliament for Zuma, and Minister responsible for Regatta's Clay Sweeting, who participated in the C-Class race on board the overall winning boat, Patton Pride of Black Point at Zuma.
We are so thrilled to see the joy and excitement on the faces of the who are being liberated and who are just enjoying themselves. It is time for us just to interact with each other, feel the spirit of each other, other than over some technology delay. It's been magnificently successful, and it's good that Zuma is leading the way. This is the national family and Regatta. Others will follow. We look forward to these occasions. It's good for the economy, it's good for sloop sailing, and everybody's happy.
Excited today to be a part of the race. 2 races actually, and able to win the last one. So excited about that, first time sailing, and as we move towards encouraging regattas and festivals and homecomings nationwide to replicate what we have here next summer. We're excited about that and we're ready to get on the ground and get people moving.
The regatta, which saw 48 boats compete, did not come without its challenges of inclement weather. However, Chairman of the National Family Island Committee, Danny Strawn, says he's pleased with the overall economic impact of the event.
These regattas have a tremendous economic impact on the islands where they're being held. For instance, this week in Exuma, millions of dollars will pass through this economy, and that consists of Bahamians coming in, also foreigners coming in from abroad, because this regatta also has a huge international foreign group, and also particularly the vendors who have not been able to take advantage of the opportunities they have this week. They come out after 2 years hiatus, to come out here and really make some money and earn a living. So from the impact standpoint, it's huge and it's tremendous.
Officials are now gearing up for the Long Island Regatta, set to take place on June 1st through 4th. For Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
April 2nd marks World Autism Awareness Day and kicked off World Autism Month.
This special month is celebrated by wearing the color blue, which is meant to increase and understand the autism spectrum disorder, ASD, which appears to be one of the fastest growing development disability affecting BAME in children. 1 in every 68 children are affected, with boys being 4 times more likely.
Although a lot of research is being conducted on this disorder, there remains a lot that needs to be done. As parents of an autistic child, we recognize that ASD is definitely more about his abilities rather than any perceived disabilities. These kids are unique in every way, shape, and form. They have the ability to love more and to be loved more and bring people from all walks of life together to show love and support for this community.
KO Bahamas Business Solutions
and Alive supports World Autism Month.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your sports on this Monday. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. DeAndre and the Phoenix Suns have their work cut out for them because their best-of-7 first-round series with the New Orleans Pelicans is now a best-of-3 after losing to the Pelicans in New Orleans last night, 118-103. Ayton finishing with 23 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block in 33 minutes of play during the loss. After going for 28 points and 17 boards in Game 3, Ayton had another efficient night on the offensive end, going 11 for 14 from the field to help counteract a strong effort from Jonas Valanciunas, who had 26 points and 15 boards with the Pels. For the series, Ayton is up to 20 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and just under a steal per game. He's drawn only 5 total free throw attempts, however, in 135 minutes. Game 5 is set for Tuesday at 10 p.m.
Going into the third quarter, we was trading baskets, and then we just started fouling. They started collecting calls because they were aggressive, but we just kept fouling, and them dudes had momentum, and they realized that they were in the bonus early. So they did what any team would do, attack, and be aggressive and finish, and, they was getting their calls. Just felt like we couldn't do like how we did it in Game 3, with the physicality of the game, and it made us let up a little bit on being aggressive to where it's the league. Towards the legal physicality, and I think that's what got us because we started figure that out a little bit too late. Dudes was crashing. I think they had like 20 offensive boards, and they hit first, man. Them dudes they played hard. They wanted it more. That's just plain and simple.
In track news, Olympic champion Stephen Gardner turned in a quality performance to open his outdoor season after clocking a world-leading 44.22 seconds at the LSU Alumni Gold Meet on Saturday. The 26-year-old Gardner continued to build momentum from a series of impressive indoor performances earlier this season, where he competed in the 200 meters. On Saturday, the Bahamian would beat back a challenge from the USA's Brendan Norwood, who ran 4:49.59 for second place. The time was the 4th fastest of Norwood's career. Great Britain's Matthew Hudson finished 3rd in 44.61 seconds, and the USA's Tyler Terry was 4th in 45 seconds. The time was Gardner's fastest ever 400-meter season opener and seems to set him in good stead to defend his world title at the Eugene 2022 World Championships later this summer. Anthony Strachan continuing a stellar start to her outdoor season, edging out one of the fastest women in the world. Strachan would beat Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price to win the women's 200 meters at the Velocity Fast 11 in Kingston, Jamaica over the weekend, running a time of 22.55 seconds, just ahead of the Jamaican, who appeared to slow towards the finish at a time of 22.79. This is Strachan is coming off her semifinal appearance in her initial World Indoor Championships on March 18th in Belgrade, Serbia. During a performance last month in Jamaica at the Wilmer Speed Fest, Strachan would become the 7th Bahamian woman to dip under 11 seconds in the 100 meters, finishing in a time of 10.99 seconds. From the collegiate ranks, Bahamian Oscar Smith, who competes at Ohio State University, running a personal best and winning the 110-meter hurdles at the Jesse Owens Classic on the school's campus in Columbus, Ohio this weekend. Smith taking the race in a time of 13.56 seconds. Smith joined the Buckeyes in 2020 following a COVID-19 pandemic-shortened freshman season with the Kansas State Wildcats. Locally, Smith was a member of the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine. He was a 2018 Carifta bronze medalist and a 2018 World Junior semifinalist in the 110 hurdles. The Bahamas senior men's national rugby team wrapped up its campaign at the Rugby America's North Sevens qualifiers at Dom St. Robinson National Stadium this past weekend for the 31-21 loss to Guyana on Sunday. Bahamas led for most of that game, but Guyana scored 2 tries late in the second half to come away with the win. Earlier in the slate of games on Sunday, the Bahamas took care of the British Virgin Islands 26-12. As for Saturday, the Bahamas opened play with a 34-zip shutout loss to the Cayman Islands. Neighboring Turks and Caicos edged the Bahamas out 20-19 in the second game. In their final matchup on Saturday, the Bahamas lost 36-7 to Mexico. Despite going 1-4, team officials are encouraged by the team's performance, noting the relatively young squad and being one of the only teams in the tournament that did not play in any previous exhibitions since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's my look at sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Bahamas National Statistical Institute, formerly the Department of Statistics, is commencing the 2022 census during the months of April through June. There will be 3 ways for individuals to complete their questionnaires: online, via telephone, and in person. The online census will have a questionnaire that individuals can complete from the comfort of their home. This only applies to the households who would have provided contact information during the 2021 listing exercise. Via the telephone, census administrators will be conducting the census questionnaire over the phone. And finally, the traditional in-person interviews will also be conducted. You may ask the question, well, what is the census? The right answer would be the total count of people living in the country at a specified time. Every person in every dwelling unit, regardless of age and nationality, throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will be counted. The count depends on you.
Hop to your favorite super value and quality supermarkets for great savings, including Robin Hood flour, 5.5 pounds, $4.79. Carnation evaporated milk, 12.7 ounces, 2 for $2.09. Fay bath tissue, jumbo, 6 rolls, $3.99. Fresh pork shoulders, $1.79 per pound. Idaho potatoes, 5-pound bag, $3.49. The specials you'll love are at Super Value and Quality Supermarket.
Hi, my name is Pizarro, and I am the mother of one son, Aiden. He's 2 years old now, and I have been using Mouthflex for about a year. First off, it's elastic band waist. He can play well in it with a lot of flexibility. Secondly, it's very affordable. I can buy a case with about 140 diapers for about $38. I absolutely love Mouthflex.
My name is Makumbla Smith. Most people know me as Kumbi. I'm a personal trainer and group fitness instructor, and I am fully vaccinated. I would consider myself in good health. Upon finding out that I had the virus, COVID-19, I was not only shocked, but I was frightened. What changed my mind, or what helped me to decide to get the vaccination, was realizing, because of my career, my work, I'm in close proximity with a lot of mature people. Numerous times I'd find myself in the face of a client, or he or she is in my face. So to protect both of us, I thought it best that I should get vaccinated. I wouldn't wish the experience of contracting the disease on anybody. From my experience, it feels like a death sentence. And especially if you're mature in age or you have underlying symptoms, don't wait any longer. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Now is the time.
Hey, Regattas, homecomings and festivals are all back. The Family Island Sweet Days Want to get your message out to the widest possible audience in the Bahamas? Now it's time to get your ads on the main station, the People Station, ZNS.
Let the people know where to stay, where to eat and drink, what to drive, what to do, where to have a good time, where to get what you need, and a whole lot more. What are you waiting on?
The ZNS sales team will be in Kid Island, April 27th to May 1st. So book your ads today. They call them now at 376-0276 for a sweet Family Island deal.
I teach your daughter, I teach your niece, all of these little things that they can understand. So when they go into their various schools, be it primary, be it junior, be it senior, all the coach have to do after she comes through Diamond Basketball Development Program is the X's and O's. That's it.
Diamonds! Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that old front boundary continues to hang around the extreme southeast. Bahamas providing some cloud cover around the Turks and Caicos Islands and the Inagua area, but that will eventually drift towards the south and east, clearing us by tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, high pressure remains in control of our weather, but they will begin to relax by the middle of the week, so we'll see the winds decreasing significantly on Wednesday, falling to light and variable in the northwest Bahamas, 10 to 15 knots over the central Bahamas, but we'll keep that caution flag in place for the southeast Bahamas through Wednesday. Forecast for tonight, we're looking at clear to partly cloudy conditions with a low temperature just around 72 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be partly sunny with a moderate breeze in place, high temperature about 81 degrees. And your extended weather forecast for the next 7 days, we're looking at those winds that we told you are ready to start wasting away on Wednesday. Light and variable winds. Temperature-wise, we're going to keep you in the low 80s, but once those winds start to fall off, humidity is going to rise, so it's going to feel a little bit more muggy on Wednesday as we head into the weekend. But some clouds work its way temporarily in our forecast on Saturday, but that will return to mostly sunny conditions on Sunday and the early part of next week. Makishla?
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People Station.